Ladies and gentlemen, I'm James Rockin' that announcer guy, and I am the host of the Shelter-in-Place game show In the House, where our contestants can play from the comfort and safety of their own home. In the House challenges your knowledge on topics. We also feature prizes and giveaways. Join us for In the House, uploaded every Friday at midnight. Log on to VJTVNetwork.com/InTheHouse, and hopefully you are in the house.
RaiderFan Radio. Back with you.
This is our sign, just so you know. That means it's us.
This is how I feel. I'm doing this to the offense.
That's the kind of Raider you live. Raider.
That's to the offense, and that's to that bum ass zebra who we'll get to in a moment.
Yeah,
Clark.
shoot the zebra.
Anyway,
hey, wait, show number 9.
Yeah, show
number 9.
Welcome back.
Number 9. Number 9.
That's
number
big.
9.
Yeah, 9 is a big number. It's a good number.
Yeah, well, we're moving forward and moving forward a lot more swifter than our team. But like we said, we'll get to that, man. It's
we always move. We keep moving no matter what.
Yeah, it's good to see y'all, man. And despite the outcome, this is what's up. Raider Rob, the beautiful Black Hole Steph, Stoner Dude, of course, in the house. And yeah. You know what I'm saying? We're here at RaiderFan Radio. Make sure you like and subscribe below. We appreciate all of you that have been watching us over the last few shows, and particularly a great turnout for our live watchcast last week during the Raiders-Kansas City game. So thank you so much, Raider Nation, for being there for us and supporting us and hanging out with us.
That was fun hanging out with all Raider fans all over the world, chatting with us while we were watching the game. It was good. Raider Rob made the ultimate food. We were grubbing hard. Those meatball sandwiches.
Meatball light, baby.
I think I counted it. I had 4 pastrami sandwiches. I had a couple of those pepperoni sandwiches. I was wondering what your stats were. Yeah, I have stats. And of course, man, those meatball sandwiches were awesome.
Right on.
Really looking forward to the Raider Rob
Vegas Street Grill. Yeah, it's coming next year. But that's how we do it, man. We're family as well as fans. And so we hope wherever you were doing the same thing. Because we are one nation and we are a family. So, yeah, that was a beautiful thing.
That was funny how Stone broke it down, though. He was like, okay, I figured this out. It's in 3 sections. I'll just
Well, the meatball sandwich had 3 big old meatballs. And I kind of ate them in a third at a time.
In thirds.
Focused on one meatball at a time. I had to give them all their own unique attention.
He had a system.
Well, that's what's up, man. The system works, man. Like I said, the system didn't work too well today. But before we get to that, the Raider Nation, of course, all of you around the world, I mean, this will go without saying, but we have lost, again, someone that is very important to the culture as a whole of all of us living beings over the last 40 years.
Dude, we're talking about human culture.
Yes.
Not just...
and intergalactic culture.
Totally intergalactic.
We say hello to Mars and Pluto and all of you out there and the beyond, you know. If you're tuning in, right on, man. Zip on by.
Tonight we dedicate, as we say, D-E-A-D, dedicate our show tonight to, I would say, probably one of the most... fiercest, most well-known villains in the history of villainy, and that would be one Darth Vader.
Yeah.
That is the actor David Prowse, who played Darth Vader in the original Star Wars, the first 1977 Star Wars.
Right.
You know, we all know, we think of Darth Vader, and rightfully so, of course, as the voice, James Earl Jones. And I remember back in '77 when my stoner dad took me to see Star Wars at the Corona Theater, Tyler Mall Theater in Corona, Riverside, California.
Wow.
1977. Remember that day very well.
Yeah.
And when you first see Darth Vader on the screen, that imposing figure, all in black, with the obvious reference to the Nazi helmet. You know, even a little kid can figure that. A 10-year-old kid as me can figure that out.
Yeah.
And, of course, you know, the storm.
It wasn't obvious to me. I thought it was a bucket. Turned upside down.
Big black bucket. Yeah, and, of course, the stormtroopers, you know, the name of the guys who couldn't shoot. But back to Darth Vader, David Prowse, 6'7". That's how big the dude was. Woo. Died at 85 years old. He lived a nice, long, fruitful life. He's also very well known in the world of Hammer films, which I'm a big fan of. The old horror films of the 60s and early 70s. Oh, okay. Hammer films, late 50s. Christopher Lee was famous with Dracula. Back
was that
then.
the studio that did them? The
Hammer films,
okay.
Correct. Oliver Reed played the Curse of the Werewolf. Well, David Prowse played in a couple Frankenstein movies. One was The Horror of Frankenstein and Frankenstein and the Monster from Hell. I love those old.
He wasn't in the Werewolf Goes to Oakland.
No, that would be one Raider Rob.
One of the most iconic, as Stone said, not only figures in movies, but in the history of us living. Okay, when it comes to, especially in the superhero realm or the costume realm of these, you know, characters that we have known for years. I don't care if it's Superman. I don't care if it's Batman. And then you talk about crossovers. Wow, that would have been great to see, you know, Darth Vader go up against Iron Man or something like that. You know, let the imagination go.
I think there's a couple of fan videos on YouTube where like he fights Batman and different. Yeah. You go on YouTube and type in Darth Vader.
Darth Vader was standalone.
Correct, but I'm just saying a lot of fans out there who are really creative with their video making. Sometimes the fans make better movie trailers and videos than the actual movie companies. And Darth Vader is always, as a matter of fact, someone took the scene in the first Star Wars where Obi-Wan Kenobi fights Darth Vader and dies. It's very stale and just kind of boring. You know, the real one. Well, someone actually redid that whole scene with a modern take with the old man playing Obi-Wan.
Right.
It's an awesome video. You got to see it on YouTube. It's huge.
Films are pretty good.
I
that
love
dude's
those.
body was so intimidating. Like when he's coming around the corner in Empire Strikes Back, when Luke goes in and he's trying to, he's searching his soul and he's training. Yes. And he goes into that tunnel, and then you're just like really praying that you don't see Darth Vader. And then here he comes, and he's like, and it's not even really him, but that dude's body was just so domineering and just incredible that it's like three different characters. It's his body,
right?
And then the voice,
James Earl Jones, right?
And then the other guy that played Anakin,
right?
Without the suit, yes.
Yeah,
that horrible actor that played Anakin many years ago.
Yeah, but this dude here with this, he had that Arnold Schwarzenegger body.
I've always thought that the character of Darth Vader, I think it was derived from Dr. Doom. The hood with the skull-looking metal face.
Yeah.
But when it comes to Darth Vader, like you say, imposing, intimidating. And as a little kid seeing that in the theater for the first time on the big screen for the very first time, you knew this was the baddest man in the galaxy.
Yeah. And you knew movies had flipped too, because we'd grown up on old villains like Dracula and, you know, the werewolf like Stone mentioned. Some others throughout the 70s, you know, the Hulk was kind of scary but was also a good guy.
He's an anti-hero.
Anti-hero. Yeah. But Darth Vader was the first character in the franchise of the Star Wars when that came out that just had, like I said, his singular look, the singular idea of him was something that was overwhelming to our generation because we were so young that even the kids older than us and parents had never seen. He was, I guess you could say, groundbreaking. You know, we've been sitting here applauding and remembering Eddie Van Halen for the last few weeks and how he was just so innovative with his finger tapping and all. This was an innovative villain. You know, but way beyond the Joker, way beyond the Penguin and some of the other ones.
Galaxy.
Yeah, I mean, this guy
not just a city.
Yeah, he came from another world. You know, those of us from P-Funk, it was Sir Nose, you know, devoid of funk. He was, you know, a villain. But Vader took it to a whole nother level. You haven't had one that can strike him yet. He was more fearless than even from the horror films at the time that were coming out. Slasher films. Your Michael Myerses, your Jasons. Right. These guys were on the scene as like the epitome of horror and death and darkness. No. When Darth Vader came, baby, he set the standard, new standard, and I don't think you've eclipsed it yet. I know they tried Thanos and some other shit. You can't fuck with Darth Vader. And, look, can we all do it just in tribute? The man had his own music. A 1, a 2, a 1, a 2, a 3. Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah, villain has to have his theme music.
Right.
You know, you think about 1977, Star Wars, like you say, you know, we talk about Van Halen.
I think about it, I miss
1977, I'm telling you, for you kids out there, and I know you're listening right now, that was probably one of the best years of all time. For music, for movies, just for the world. We still had pinball. It was always, you still got 5 balls for a quarter. Right? That's the way we liked it, you know.
Yep. And the Raiders won the Super Bowl against the Minnesota Vikings.
Exactly. Reigning Super Bowl champions,
in
right?
Pasadena.
You know, before we go into the next segment, Raider Rob, we had you have a friend of yours, a local businessman that was contributing to the show.
Yes.
And I'd like to talk about him a little bit because he's a very cool dude.
Yeah.
I'll show you what I got today. You can talk about monster zombies or marijuana zombies.
Marijuana zombies.
That's a t-shirt I got today from my boy.
Yeah, his name is Berto, and we will be having an interview that will tag the end of this episode for you. Where we do an interview with Berto, who is the proprietor and a Raider fan business owner. Because, you know, we support Raider fan business owners. We've been doing it since we debuted April 12, 2002. Yeah. Bringing in local and bringing in independent artists, independent musicians and what have you, and showcasing them and trying to get them some love and get them out there. And Berto is just, you know, great dude, man, fascinating. With his life and what he's gone through personally that has helped him become such an established entrepreneur here in Las Vegas, and how he is just exploding on the scene with his reppin' LV.
Yeah, show him your shirt there.
Don't envy, okay? All right. Line of clothing that he has and apparel, also along with his reppin' LV Don't Envy line. He's got the silver and black state. Because we're in Nevada, it's the silver state.
It's the silver and black state now. I love that. Right. That's great.
That's right. And
that's original.
Yeah, we were talking about that. And he has some Raider-inspired apparel, too. So, Berto, catch him at IG at Reppin' Envy, Reppin' LV, Don't Envy _ And we'll also, during the interview, have all his stuff up. But we thank him so much. Also want to give a shout-out to Mr. Cesar Guerrero, who is related to Berto. He is his father-in-law. And also to Lily. And a big shout-out to LA and Beauty. How are you? They are doing a line of punche.
What?
Okay.
Uche.
Yes.
Yeah.
Isn't that what you get at a bar in Tijuana?
Yes, exactly. We've been there.
How would I know?
Smart man.
And along the peninsula of Mexico and anywhere else. But the best, you can only get it from Mr. Guerrero.
Dang.
Mr. Cesar. And he gave us left a bottle with us. So we appreciate that.
Shots
and
out.
we're going to let you know when we pop this open, probably on the show next week. We're going to all take a little sip of this here and give you a review. But it's definitely the best of, shall we say, homegrown? Homegrown spirits.
And if you have anything that you would like to promote here on Raider Fan Radio, RaiderFanRadio.Vegas, make sure you contact us at RaiderFanRadio@gmail.com, and we will pimp your shit.
Yes, we will.
And you will love it, and people will buy it, and we all get rich.
Yeah.
That's real talk.
Share the wealth.
So stay tuned for that interview that'll be coming up at the bottom of our show with Berto and repping LV Don't Envy apparel company. So here in Las Vegas. So yeah, man.
So now we medicate together and we talk about what happened today.
Well, before we talk about what happened today, we must give, because Stone, you're also a part of this, but we have to give back to Darth Vader great acknowledgement to Mr. White, Don White, back in Oakland, the original Darth Vader, Darth Raider. That he did, of course, a takeoff and became very synonymous with the Raider fandom, one of our first recognizable and costume fans.
Would you say he's the first ever?
He is the first ever.
He's the first ever recognizable costume
The
Raider
first
fan.
costume
Darth
fan.
Vader.
He set the trend. And
so much so that even today, after all these years, that the new stadium was called the Death Star, because of a character like Darth Raider, who became a popular Raider fan. Notice how it all goes back to the fans.
Yeah.
Everything that we see today with the Raiders and
the influence,
the merchandise, it all comes from the fans.
That's right. That's right. So we just want to give a nod to the original Darth Raider up in Oakland, and just, all you other Darth Raiders that have taken on that persona. It just shows how widespread and just how impactful that image of that villain and of that character has been all these years. And then for the Raider Nation to assume it and take it over and make it its own, it's one of the great moves ever in promotions. So anyway.
Even so much so that King Al Davis, who we all know, even he's been referred to many times now over the years as Darth Raider.
That's right.
Because of that character.
And the Evil Empire. Raiders were referred to as the Evil Empire. Like you say, now the stadium is the Death Star. But anyway, David Prowse, 85, great actor. I remember one thing that struck me. Once the franchise was established, it was around the time that Empire Strikes Back came out.
Around 1980? That was 80.
I remember People magazine had this special feature, and it was called, because it was around the time that Kiss, the great band, of course, had an album out called Unmasked. They were going to take their makeup off. It was a cartoon album.
Right, yeah. I've got that.
Well, when Empire Strikes Back came out, part of that campaign, because there was such a great love for these characters, then they unmasked them, and the little guy that played C-3PO, right? The guy that played R2-D2, Chewbacca, and of course David Prowse. They were all unmasked in their costume, and it spread in People magazine. I remember that was the first time I saw him without the mask on, and made the correlation. And of course Chewbacca, the great actor that played him, that died a number of years ago. But that was something to be young and see them, and it kind of humanized them, so anyway.
See, I kind of have a thing about that though, because I know it humanizes them, and sometimes we like to see behind the mask. I kind of like not seeing that. I like the mystery of that. Like even with Kiss, I love Kiss, another Silver and Black band, by the way. They made their money off Silver and Black early in their days. But when you take away the mask or the makeup, and you kind of take away a little bit of the mystique, I personally like more of the mystery behind it. Yeah. But obviously back then there's a certain time when they do that almost because it's like another way just to promote what they have, which is cool and all that. But for the record, I kind of like to not see what's going on behind the scenes.
Yeah,
I feel you. I'm with the mystique. We're Raider fans. We love
I remember
mystique.
Shield had kept that up too. Shield Head never wanted to be seen
without the shield.
He only let us close to him.
Yeah. You had to be on the inner circle,
right?
Well, it's like Bruce Wayne and Batman. Yeah. He only let Alfred see what was going on.
I famously tell people the story of Gorilla Rilla, who was my friend Mark Casio.
He's a perfect example. He almost never.
You don't even know
have a friend who I know as himself. From 1995 into after the Super Bowl when he came back with that persona. And at the time he did assume the persona of Gorilla Rilla, it had to have gone into almost the late 2000s, almost into the not 2000, but the 2000 teens. Before I saw my friend Mark ever again. And I know y'all might say, well, I thought y'all were friends. We would see each other here and there and what have you. But there was just a run there where off season we just didn't see each other as much. And I literally had not seen his face, who he was as himself for at least 5 or 6 years. And the next time I saw him, he had lost weight.
That's what I'm saying.
He wasn't to say his hair is a different guy under there, right? Yeah, and now it's been so long again that I don't remember what he looked like the last time I saw him without the makeup on.
I love that about Gorilla. Yeah. Well, there came a certain point of his, I'll say now, career, because he is a Hall of Fame fan in Canton. So when you look at his career, I think there was a time where he kind of took what we just kind of said to heart and said, you know what?
Yeah.
I better keep this on the down low. Yeah. Just be Gorilla Rilla out there in front of everybody, and then just make sure they don't all see me. And like I said, it does help with the mystique. A lot of people don't know what he looks like.
That's right.
I love it, man. Keep it up, dude. Keep it up, Gorilla Rilla. We love you for it.
Well, there was no mystique in the ATL this afternoon as we taped the show. The Las Vegas Raiders got their asses rightfully wiped across downtown Atlanta. And, they got stomped out.
Rob, I was thinking about you the whole time because Raider Rob, of course, is the advocate to replace David Carr, and I've always been more the David Carr apologist. But I have to say,
the motherfucker don't matter so much that we've already forgotten his name. I'm advocating for David Carr.
Derek Carr.
I would have never advocated
Derek Carr.
He sucked too. Okay.
So today
he's forgotten him.
I almost called in sick today because I was going to call in and tell everybody. Today I got Carvid. But I decided to come in and just face the music, face the Raider Rob. Yeah, David Carr, Derek Carr. Today, as a matter of fact, today the car got parked in the fourth quarter.
It got parked, huh?
It got parked.
Mm-hmm.
It was forced off-road daily.
It's found on the road daily.
Oh, damn.
It's 44-6, I think. So we've done this before in the history of Raider Fan Radio, where particularly during the years of Shane Leckler and Janikowski being our only.
This isn't our first rodeo.
Yeah, this isn't our first rodeo with this. So what is there to talk about? The defense started out great. They played solid through the first two quarters, but they ended up having to be on the field too much, and with some of the little injuries that they had.
Damon Arnett got hurt on the very first play of the game.
What is it with these fragile-ass kids, man? You have got to either make a better player or draft tougher guys. Maybe it's time to stop drafting so much these brand name dudes from these bigger schools. Because by the time they get to the NFL, they've had such an NFL-like lifestyle in college. They're spoiled rotten as fuck. And then, is it a calcium deficiency?
It's going
You motherfuckers need to drink some milk. I have never seen so many fallen soldiers in my life since I watched Saving Private Ryan last night. What the fuck is going on with you motherfuckers?
I noticed a couple things today. With Damon Arnett, first of all, sometimes he's got so much hair dye, that pink hair dye, it even gets on his jersey. You can see it kind of smearing off.
It's called a bad dye job.
And then, so I'm thinking to myself, okay, I know these players, they like to, go out and be flashy and be different. But first of all, be the player first, and then everything else.
Right.
And then I saw Henry Ruggs on the sideline, and then the trainer was messing with his earring.
Yeah.
I'm like, there was a time when they wouldn't even let you have long hair or this or that, and wear jewelry while you play, and these are the reasons why.
Right.
Because they do interfere with the game.
Right.
I'm a free spirit. I'm all about free spiritness. I mean, I love, especially when you think about the 70s Raiders we talked about earlier.
Personalities.
They're the ones who let loose and were themselves. Yeah. But when you're doing certain things that are going to interfere with your game on the field and have to fuck with while during the game, don't do it.
Yeah,
just don't do it.
Well, an earring has no basis when we're supposed to be concentrating on our assignments and all. Fuck him. If he gets it ripped out, he shouldn't be wearing it on the field. This is what Stone is talking about. How you're distracted by the cosmetics of the game instead of the game. And it is interfering. This cocksucker is making all the millions that he's making, and he's over there worried about a fucking earring. Right. And then a trainer's got to worry about his earring. Right. You know, and this is a new introduction of certain shit.
That's the first time I ever saw that.
Yeah, I understand we're all trying to, let things be and give this column of, free spiritness, like Stone just said, in sports or whatever, which it shouldn't even have to be a thing that's forced. Or have to be a thing that has to be drawn attention to. When we were growing up, and back, old men and women talking about back but you just were what you were. You understand? Period. You just were what you were. And that's all. And you had an individuality and a character and a personality unapologetically that you were, and you took care of yourself in the damn field. You didn't need nobody to come over there and take a damn thing out your ear, your ear. The other thing I thought too, Stone, when I was watching, just caught me funny today. I was thinking with all these changes on the offensive line and people coming in and going in, you're probably done with the days of a defense having nicknames. Like you're probably done with the steel curtain.
Right. They just had the 11 angry men a couple of years ago, but that lasted
that was the whole defense, though. Right.
That lasted a whole 2 years.
But it's not. It has some significance because I think they went to the Super Bowl too and won the Super Bowl. Exactly. The fearless foursome, that type of thing. But because the players aren't on the field multiple plays throughout a game together.
There's not a cohesive, solid line that's building up an identity.
There's not a familiarity of their play together as one to say that's the doomsday defense. Right. Or that's 11 angry men or whatever. So,
you're forcing them to specialize now. Right. So, they come in on this one play and make one or two moves, and then they're back on the sideline again. I was like, where is he going? He just did
you just played a play.
It's still like we always talk about on Raider Fan Radio. Football is a rhythm game. Mm-hmm. Sports in general, it's like music. It's mathematics. Yeah. It has a flow to it. Right. And the thing that interrupts the flow is these coaches with their specialized game. This is a professional. He should know what to do when he's on the field, regardless, whatever position he's playing.
Earring or not.
And two, it's the refs. So you got the refs and you got the coaches, and they're all doing something else, and they're destroying the art of football. There's the natural progress that the body makes when it's out there in its intensity. You can't stop yourself. You get a flag because you're in the momentum of a play.
That bogus shit against Jacobs, let me tell you, we're going to get on, let's just do it now then. Not to make excuses, because there were none to make when you get blown out like that, really, okay? But an addendum to all of that is that there is, like she said, bullshit in the game, and we've been dealing with the referees throughout the history of the Raiders, so it's all good. But this bullshit with Land Clark, whoever this cocksucker is, Goodell, that you had debut today, okay, against with our game, get the fuck out of here. Number one, I don't give so much a crap about him reffing our game. But how does a first-year guy become a head referee?
For the
in his
Raiders
first
game.
Year. Mm-hmm. How is he a head referee already?
Right.
We saw today why he should be blowjob out in the back, being a back judge, okay, or side judge. Okay, this dude got out there and had a flagrant flag fallout. Okay, this shit was ridiculous. You should be embarrassed, okay, as much as we are by the performance we put up, and should be, that you got this clown out here as a really first-year head ref. Really, this dude just wanted to be on TV like he was Dancing with the Stars or some shit. He's an embarrassment to the league, and y'all need to quit doing that shit. You got another cheater in the making that you done thrown out there to take over for Head Ockley, okay, or Mike Carey, or Bill Levy, that clown. It reminded me of the same shit with Bill Levy when he first became a ref and got all our games initially. Okay, this motherfucker, we are in a playoff hunt. We come into that game 6-4. And for all you motherfuckers don't believe there'd be bullshit in the game against the Raiders, like she just said, you saw the performance of that ref. Now riddle me this, Batman, and riddle yourself this. How does he become
conveniently doing our game as a first year head referee. He should have been doing the fucking Argonauts and the damn Chiefs or the Jaguars some damn where. You know what I'm saying? Or who's the Jets? Should have been doing the Jets game.
Right.
How does he get the Raider game? Somebody's got to explain that to me. First year, hey, he's already a head referee?
Already. And he was dancing on us today. And it didn't matter. We were playing through it, particularly the D.
Fucking kidding me.
They're trying to call these plays on the D because the D it has the, it is on a roll right now. It was like they were there to break the rhythm of the game. And that's what happened to us. In addition to, of course, I know we'll break the
rhythm of our playoff march.
Right.
Okay, but that's not on them. Where's the sense of fucking urgency in that damn locker room over at 1475? What the fuck are y'all doing, man?
Yeah.
Who the hell is over there coaching? You're in a playoff hunt. There needs to be a sense of urgency. There needs to be an attitude. Mm-hmm. There needs to be an anger. Mm-hmm. There needs to be a volatile feeling that we have got a chance to go up and become 2 or 1.5 games behind Kansas City. Miami handled their business today.
Mm-hmm. Buffalo
handled their business today.
Yeah, a lot of teams are doing it right now.
You went from in it, okay, wild card possibility.
Get your hand in there.
To third in the hunt shit.
Now you're in the hunt. But
now you're in the hunt at 6-5.
Yeah, you're not in it right now.
With that piss poor ass performance against a subpar football team that came in 3-7.
The Raiders should have dominated today. They should have. With Raheem Morris coming in the middle of the season like that, and they didn't have Julio Jones, they didn't have Todd Gurley, they didn't have their starters. We just came off one of our, even though we lost against Kansas State, still a 30-point plus performance. We should have at least went in there and looked a little bit like we did last week.
Just a little
like
bit.
A team, and scored some points. But like you say, it's 6 points. Come on. 2 field goals all day long. You still can't punch it in the red zone. You still can't get the ball.
She's been saying that for weeks.
You still cannot go out there and get 7 points.
Something about the red zone.
Something about other teams could somehow get 7 points.
It's something about Babyhead. It's something about that cocksucker. And what it is that he's an incompetent boob. Okay? This motherfucker has no confidence. He is not a killer. He is not a clutch player. Period. Okay? And he's a fucking timid, scary cocksucker. Yeah. 2 fumbles, 1 interception, with whatever he was. You're not Patrick Mahomes. You're not Neo. What were you trying to do? You're a fucking clown, dude.
It was just a bad day, period, for everybody today. I mean, Josh Jacobs dropped the ball.
Yeah.
5 turnovers. It should really. I think we did get 1 good call. And that's one of the Josh Jacobs did get a fumble turned back over when his knee did hit the ground before the ball. That would have been 6 turnovers, 120 yards and penalties.
6 turnovers.
You simply cannot go to the playoffs and win games under those circumstances. And to go out there and put out your worst performance of the year this is now going the first week of December. This is coming to. This is the home stretch right before the playoffs.
Yes.
This is when you have to play your best football. You can't just go play your worst football and expect to do anything good right now. But we are now where we're at now. Here we go. Mm-hmm. Here we go. Now you get to go out and play the Jets next week. Now don't tell me you can't win that game. Remember last year, this was the time where all of a sudden we lost a game. We started going downhill even further.
Same thing.
And the Jets trounced on us last season around this time. The excuse was the rain or this or that.
Right.
They're tanking right now. They're not even trying to win games.
Right. It looked like it, seriously. And it really looked like, for a fumble starts with an F, just like fear. You were scared. So you coughed the ball up. And fear, Derek, please listen to me,
he's listening.
The enemy. Okay? And it gives the enemy an opportunity because you let the adversary in with your energy, since you like to dance with the shinglings and have energy or whatever.
Shinglings?
Yeah, he's got a music video out that I'll eventually play.
I never saw that.
I will eventually play it for Raider Nation right here at Raider Fan Radio. Yes. And it's like, dude,
Correction. He has a nerve to have
suffering
a.
from carving.
He's suffering from
Oh, wait.
He has the nerve
got
to have a
carved in.
music video out.
Man, it's like music. I don't know. All I know is you're afraid, and whatever if that's not going to work.
Scary as fuck,
That's
dude.
not going to work. You can't.
I wouldn't rob a lemonade
there.
stand with you with face masks on.
Exactly.
Okay, you are scared. You would rat me out, man. You're a bum, dude, and I cannot wait for you to be gone. And I don't care when it's going to happen, but you have got to go and fuck your friends and fuck all these Raider fans that love you. Okay, you're inconsistent and you suck, dude. You have no heart. You're a pussy. Okay? Period. I wish somebody would grab you and sling your ass out of Las Vegas.
You're another one.
Remember a couple weeks ago we talked about a new word, draconian, that we learned from Mark Davis?
Yeah.
Well, the word for today is fugly. This game was fugly. In case you don't know what that means, it means fucking ugly.
It was fucking ugly, and that's really a shame.
It's funny he used the word ugly because I had at the top of mine ugly ass performance.
Yeah.
It was an ugly ass performance.
It was something to walk out on. When you're at a bad movie, especially one like this has a similar plot, it is just like the same. It's like Groundhog Day. It's just like over and over again, the same thing, like you said. This time of year again, and here, dude, you've only gotten us to the postseason once,
and didn't get to play in the game.
And right. Because you were
the quarterback last year when what she's talking about happened. You were at the helm. Now, it's not all you. There was some bad play calling.
But it's a lot of
it was questionable.
With 3 turnovers.
But we're limited in what we can do, like I've been saying, because you're an aptitude. Because there's no confidence that you can successfully put through a string of drives and series that are going to keep us, in the game when you have games like this, okay? And these are the games that you're supposed to win and should win. And these are the games where players like you are supposed to step up, okay, for all the hype around you, all right? This is when you're supposed to step up. But like I said, there were a few positives. Defense played a lot more aggressive, a lot more action at the line. Even the commentators were talking about what I've been screaming, different looks at the line and what have you. Max Crosby played like a beast. Now, you do it for me.
Carl
Nassib again.
Blocked a pass today.
Hankins was out there. Jonathan Abram all over the place.
Nicholas Morrow
Mullen
is my boy.
And Stone's boy number 50. To their credit, Arnett and Mullen both went out with slight injuries. They both returned. Okay, and whatever.
Mullen I like. I think he is the future when it comes to the cornerback.
Yeah.
But here's my question now to you: was Damon Arnett worth a second-round pick?
Man, I can't even second guess it now. It's like it is so difficult to assess that when there's so many other things that haven't really happened yet. It's not the full development. Yes, I see the look on your face, but it's
I'm just asking.
I
have faith in Mike Mayock. I have faith in the coaches and who they want to be on the team, and I understand when they go. And especially, I think this year. By the way, to throw on top of that, a little more icing on that cake. To me, this is almost starting to become almost like an asterisk type of season because of the COVID restrictions, because of the COVID protocols, because all these different things.
The fucking Pittsburgh Steelers are undefeated.
Man, they're
no excuses, no apologies.
That's it.
We don't do that.
That's it.
There ain't no excuses and there's no apologies. Everybody's playing with COVID.
Understood.
In places like Baltimore and Atlanta, they've been shut down 3 times this week, 3 times this year already. We've had our issues with COVID and all that. There's a preparation thing, like Raider Mort used to always say, that is not being fulfilled. Okay, when you're sitting here leading off the show in the first 5 minutes talking about motherfuckers' earrings, okay, then what are we doing? When that has become a focus point of what's happening on our sideline, instead of guys huddled around each other, encouraging each other, trying to get out of these doldrums, okay, and somebody getting in that fucking Derek Carr's ass, all right, and Chucky taking that mask off and letting them know, dude, we paid you, motherfucker, and trust me, you're not my problem because I didn't draft you, all right? So you need to get your shit together, or you need to pack up and get the fuck out of here. Okay?
You're in the way.
Straight up. Because the bottom line is, Chucky holds the livelihood and the happiness of your Las Vegas life in his hands. He, like I said a couple of weeks ago, has the power to evict you from Las Vegas.
He's one man walking around as a neighbor to someone who really has the power to get rid of his neighbor.
Okay.
And you're his fucking neighbor. And he can get rid of you and rid this whole city of your sorry ass. I am done with you, dude. I'm not wasting too much more time fucking with you. We all know my stance. Hate me if you like. Comment it. Capitalize it right down there. But suck my ever-living cigar.
Can't take
I'm done with you.
Yeah.
Okay? Done with you, and I'm waiting on the next quarterback. You're through as a Las Vegas Raider to me. Okay? You're dead to me.
Damn.
Wow.
Fuck you.
That's putting dirt on the
I wouldn't
grave.
trust you to walk my kid across the street, and she's 34 years old.
It's like,
Well, there you have it, Raider Nation, Raider fans, and fans around all the world.
that's it. You're supposed
Hunter
to.
Renfrow played a great game.
I see a lot of
Waller played a great
I see a
game.
lot of Jekyll and Hyde kind of personality with this. It's like almost like a Sybil. You know, you got
Right.
It's like 1 week we're looking like everyone's in
we're
it,
like, hey.
but even today, like you say, especially on the offensive side of the ball, there was just so much. It was lackadaisical all the way across.
No sense of urgency.
Derek Carr, yeah, you're right. He's one of the main focuses we always put on because he's the quarterback.
Yeah.
But everybody on that team, even Darren Waller, some of the receivers, everything just kind of looked like, we're just kind of here right now. And that's not something we're used to seeing, especially
They play down to their competition.
Right.
That's what they do a lot. They play down to their competition.
It's not Las
You
Vegas.
know,
That's going to really suck when they go into New York and do that, though.
Yeah,
You
I
have
know.
to go into New York. For example, today the Denver Broncos had 0 quarterbacks, okay? And then you even had the Saints playing them. They had Taysom Hill, who's been with the team for a while, but still he's their backup quarterback. But they went and did what they were supposed to do. They saw the Broncos had a weakness, and they went and exposed
took advantage of it.
Right.
And scored.
Yeah.
Well, I forgot what the final score was. 30 to something.
It was
I forgot.
something to nothing,
But the
I
point
think.
being
I
is
don't
that they
think
went
they
and did it. They just went and did what they had to do.
Yeah.
That's what the Raiders. This is they have to. You have to not just go into New York and win the game by a field goal or a touchdown. You got to go in there and embarrass and humiliate them and go get some confidence back and show the world and show yourselves. That
Don't you want to go to the playoffs?
You know,
Don't you want to go to the playoffs? Don't you want to be good?
3-3.
Don't
I
you?
do. I want to go to the playoffs. I want to be
You
good.
know, there's got to be a mentality that gets implanted in that culture. That we go out on this field every Sunday, and our bottom line is to bring pain, to physically impose our will on our team, on the team that we're playing, and to be prepared to score from all angles of the field and protect our quarterback, yes. Okay, put him in a position to do what he can do, all right? But then in that too, Derek, he's also got to take his ass out there and have the fortitude and have an attitude that he is not going to be denied and that he's going to overcome the criticisms of fans like me, the media, whoever. And the media is trying to protect him, and they go out and they bend like pretzels to not blame him for shit. But he's the quarterback, and we've all known since the history of football, that the quarterback is the key position. And things center around them, particularly offensively. And so begotten Jacobs fumbles, drops, anything like that, overthrows, all that in the energy of the offense is centered around your quarterback. And if he ain't together, if he ain't confident,
he's the
if he's
leader.
not showing that he believes in what's going on in the offensive game plan, then the rest of you are not.
You know what stood out to me really big time was the kicker for Atlanta, Young Ho Koo.
Yeah.
And I was like, who is
Number
this
7.
guy? Yeah, and I looked him
I think
up.
he's one of the first Asian
He's Korean, from
kicker.
South Korea. He's a Korean kicker.
Yeah.
And in the beginning of first of all, the first kick he made was huge. He nailed it, right? And then his next attempt, he got hurt. He got. I forgot who hit him on the Raiders. He got hurt. We twisted his leg up. So he goes to the sideline. This guy
wasn't deliberate.
And all of a sudden, this guy's on the sideline. He's in pain. He took his knee pads off. He's trying to do anything he could. But then somehow, during the game, he came back and kicked ass and knocked the hell out of that ball again and put more points on the board. And I'm like, this kicker has more heart than the whole team right now.
Right.
The kicker.
And he kicked
for Atlanta.
He ends the game with a 53-yarder.
Yeah, 53. After he was writhing in pain on the sideline, and he couldn't even kick an extra point at one point. So that to me, that's again, he's like the player of the game to me. He just
what happened is that Atlanta came out prepared to play what they thought were going to be a high-scoring, explosive offense, and once they saw within the middle of the second quarter that was not going to happen, then they turned the motherfucking water faucets on, baby, and just turned it loose. And their defense was stellar. Their offense
Atlanta's defense was good today, man.
I mean, they had a great balance, and they took advantage of the blood in the water. We were leaking. We were leaking blood, and they sharked our asses. Mm-hmm. And that's the thing that we're supposed to be and are expected to come into the game with that type of mentality. We were supposed to take that approach against them at 3-7. Instead, the tables got turned on us, and in game, they saw they're weak. They're suffering right now. Yeah. They're not being able to get a rhythm.
Confidence.
They can't this and that and the other. And they pounced on it. You can see it at every position. Yeah. Where they dominated us, man. Even again, like Stone said, in the kicking game. Mm-hmm. So, 6-5, you're in the hunt, okay? But there's got to be
Groundhog Day.
Some type of change in attitude and mentality with the team, and you're going to have to play bigger than what Derek Carr can provide on a consistent basis. Defense is going to have to win games, and some of our specialty players are going to have to just exceed themselves at times. And we've got to get Ruggs more involved. We're sitting there with a 4.27 speedster.
Hands,
okay,
Let me ask you this.
You're making him look good.
You can't keep up with him.
I don't know if I want to ask, but bring it up and just see how you respond. Now, Ruggs, at the beginning of the season, in particular, I think it was the Kansas City game, he made a couple of catches downfield where he just looked like, a real stretch-the-field physical receiver. Ever since then, for the past few games, when I see him out there, I don't see that same kind of fire intensity. I see him stretch the field. They tried today, as a matter of fact, and his hands got on the ball. But he's no Randy Moss or Calvin Johnson or
Why isn't he?
Andre Johnson.
Why isn't he?
Why isn't he?
What would you attribute that attitude to, that type of demeanor to?
You're a receiver.
Because you saw it in another guy who was lazy to begin with when he came in the league from Alabama, Amari Cooper. Okay, but it's the quarterback, man. He's not feeling it. Same way Randy Moss didn't feel the quarterback he had at the time.
Yeah.
And would quit on plays. We all watched him quit on plays. We talked about it on our show.
Yes.
Him quitting on plays. Henry Ruggs is not quitting on plays. But, dude, in that closeness, particularly now with this COVID thing, when you guys got to be even more close and get things down even more tight and shit because you don't have the luxury of having all this loose and leisure time because of the restrictions. The rhythm has got to be at the boardroom. It's got to be in the classroom first. And when I'm going out there on the field as a receiver and I've worked on all this stuff and practice and all that with this guy, and then I get out here and there's a couple of misses here, or I'm watching him overthrow Aguilar or whatever. Well, yeah, I start to lose. These are young 21, 22-year-old kids in this generation of instant gratification and being feted and just hailed as such great athletes, and you're a speedster, 4.27 in the combine. That's what that kid's thinking. I'm a fucking speedster.
Right.
Get me open.
Right.
And after a while, they're gonna lose interest because this motherfucker can't get me the ball, man.
He's not getting you the ball.
Or he's not making me feel like I can exceed the challenges that we have on the field today. I'm not confident in him as a leader. This is real shit, man.
Yep.
It's no different than you and your band. You've gone through guitar players. You've gone through bass players. What the fuck? But what did you look for? You look for confidence. You look for somebody that could take your lead and be led by you because you knew you were going to put yours up.
Yeah,
and I've watched you perform. You hold your end up behind them sticks. And so they've got to bring it. And that's what you're looking for, is somebody that's running something. You're looking for people that can complement that.
Yeah.
And it starts with the people that are the leaders. And if the quarterback is the leader, he's got to be able to be the complementary to these other guys. It's not them complimenting him. Right. He's got to give them something to work with.
Right.
And if I don't have it, if I don't
4.2, you throwing me jump.
You throwing me jump balls and shit. I'm 4.2. So, 4.27 speed.
That's real.
Just for example. Yeah. So, Waller, that big guy, Witten. You know what I mean? Put Waller and Witten in the end. You got Ruggs wide. Take that big guy Carrier. I watched what he did when he got the block today.
Yeah.
You got to be in game. Man, he just blocked the kick. Look at his adrenaline. No. Get him in. This guy's fired up. He just blocked the kick. Get him in.
Yeah.
Right.
Get him in the game. Find a play for him. His adrenaline's going. He's into it.
Right.
You know, put two double wide tight ends and put him in the backfield as a fullback, even if it's just for looks. I mean, like, imagination. God damn it, Walt Disney is rolling over in his grave. There's no imagination anymore, man.
Yeah.
Well,
And
there
you
you have
have
it.
all the money and all the ability. You have all the money and all the technology. And so get it done.
You've got
Every
a
year,
$1.5 billion new theater for which to put your production on at.
You want to lose that?
And right now you belong in Branson, Missouri. On some little fucking river or down here in Laughlin. Because that's the type of performance you're putting out. Okay? We need box office, and we need box office play, man.
Yeah.
This is a big money city, and people are paying big money to watch the Raiders when they're eventually allowed to go into the Death Star.
Big,
all right?
really good money.
Okay? And that ain't gonna sell.
Yeah.
It'll suck if you see.
You ain't in Oakland no more.
It'll suck if you start seeing other fans and other teams. And
Yeah.
other
Yeah,
fan bases
you ain't in
come
Oakland
over
no
and
more.
take over.
Motherfuckers like us ain't just gonna show up because we love you.
Yeah.
Okay? It's not going to happen. After a while, the motherfuckers are going to stop driving 4 hours to Las Vegas from Los Angeles. You keep putting that shit out there. They're going to stop coming down from the Bay and flying in. Or they'll find something else to do and just watch you in a bar.
Man.
You suck right now. And you need to get it the fuck together. Because you had it together 3 weeks ago.
That's it.
All right. Well, on that note,
Did we get it out?
and yeah, I think we got it out. I know he got it out. I'm sure he has more though. But in other areas of the NFL, something you brought to my attention today, Raider Rob. My nemesis, the Walrus, Cuckoo Cachoo.
Yeah, Andy Reid.
Andy Reid. Today was the first day, and I noticed that too. Well, first of all, let me rewind. I've been saying that Andy Reid,
Walrus.
he looks like a walrus with the mustache and the big wide body. But lately he's been wearing a face shield ever since the beginning of the season.
Right.
And I've been saying that he looks like a walrus afraid of water. And then last week you noticed that he had holes for ventilation so that the face shield don't get all clogged up.
Stevie.
Right, Stevie. Today, no face shield.
No face shield.
He had the mask
Radio
on.
exclusive.
And I think, I think I will give ourselves credit on that one. I think Andy Reid has been watching this show.
Watching you clown
yes,
and make fun of me.
You're saying I look like what?
he still looks like Wally Walrus, but he took off the face shield. I hope he could see better. And I hope he doesn't get any condensation going. But so there you go, Andy Reid. Welcome to RaiderFan Radio, Andy Reid. We know you're watching, and you're always welcome to comment and like and subscribe anytime you want.
Yes,
of course.
you can.
Participate in the show, and good on you. Hope you can see better. We'll see you next week.
Hey, back to the whole play the ball thing. Just want to give props for nothing significant other than J.J. Watt playing the ball. Again, solidifying for the 5th week in a row that my coaching is taking hold in the NFL. He got a 60 or 50, 40-yard touchdown return on an interception, which was great. He had his eyes on the quarterback. As soon as his quarterback went to let go the ball, Stafford, he leaped up, eyes on the ball, caught it, and ran for a touchdown. And
I do like your prediction that J.J. Watt will be your Raider.
And so that's why I had bought that up. You know, J.J. Watt, book him with Max Crosby. Woo, boy, with Cleveland Farrell, if he can, break in there. And yeah, man. So anyway, I just threw that out there. But what the fuck with the Lions?
What about the Lions? Wait a minute. When you say what the fuck, it's been like that since, 1951?
Yes, since 1957 with Tobin Road.
So what the fuck with the Lions for a long time now?
But when does it stop?
Once again, they fire their GM and their head coach, Matt Patricia. Wow. And this past weekend after Thanksgiving, Now, a lot of talk has been going on.
And their GM, Bob Quinn.
Now, a lot of talk has been going all around the country. I've heard it on many radio shows. In particular, even this week when JT the Brick talked about it, I agree with the notion that you have to take away the Thanksgiving game from the Lions. I know they made a lifelong contract many, many years ago because no one else wanted to play on Thanksgiving. But now, you've been this bad for so many years.
God.
You should not be able to have. They should be able to have a coup. There's that name coup again, right? Mm-hmm. Coup from the Atlanta Falcons. Mm-hmm. But we need to have a coup. How to take away that Thanksgiving game from the Lions, and it would work perfectly in Las Vegas. Every single Thanksgiving.
Hey.
That's what you do.
Hey, there's a guy thinking.
I admit that's not my idea, but I am on board with that 100%.
What if it was every Thanksgiving? Well, we can't do that. I was going to say, what if it was every Thanksgiving the Raiders played the Lions in Las Vegas? But no, we can't do that.
No, just take it away from the Lions.
Don't let the Lions.
They shouldn't be allowed to play on Thanksgiving ever again. Ever again. That's what I'm saying. Okay?
Well, my thing is,
contract is null and void.
Here we go again with me trying to work up a job. You've got to get back to the tradition of the Lions, and the Lions were a maul and brawl team. Okay, you were a team of stretching the field all the way back to the days of Bobby Lane, and through that time, all the way maybe just past Gary Danielson and up through Chuck Long. You were still trying to get that big arm quarterback and stretch the field. That's what you're known for. He mentioned Calvin Johnson. You had a Herman Moore, of course. But the years before that with Lynn Barmy and when you guys had Mel Farr and you had Alex Karras and you had Chuck Schmidt and you had these real hard-hitting, NFC
Detroit was the
Central
blue-collar football team.
And even then, you didn't win Super Bowls, but you guys were competitive, and you were at least in the conversation. There was some, always eye up to Detroit because you guys were always doing something more interesting and what have you. Had all them years with Wayne Fontes. He sucked as a coach. It's too long with him. Marty Morningwig, I don't know what the hell that was about. But the bottom line is, and of course the Ford, Henry Ford, when he was alive, he was a terrible owner. But you guys have got to get back to what the essence of your DNA is as a franchise, which is a tough, hard-hitting defense and an explosive offense. You had Billy Sims, of course, Barry Sanders, we all know about on the running game, ground and pound. But you got to get back to that growl and prowl attitude
in the meantime,
and culture.
Get that DNA off my TV screen.
Try to let him go.
That's what you guys got to get. You need a coach? I can bring you
RaiderFan Radio exclusive.
The growl and prowl, attitude to Detroit.
Damn.
Okay? I mean, it's got to be no fucks given.
He's already given it more
like Lions
merchandise idea.
You've got to be wanting. Yeah, but we got proof.
That's right.
That's here first.
We should just come up with ideas for every team.
I've done that.
Put it on a list.
Book.
We'll put it on a list and just sell them to everybody. Do a little PayPal account.
Okay.
I got a lot of people I know from Michigan. Benny and the Jet, how you doing, man? Old friend of mine from JT and the Brick, John and Frazier. A lot.
Do they got water yet? Did they give them water yet?
That's Flint.
But it's in Michigan.
Please,
still Michigan.
Please, man, somebody do something about the Lions, man. Really. God, it's so sad to watch.
Yeah, well, you're right. It is sad to watch. So get it off my TV every Thanksgiving.
Well, the Cowboys were not going to be much better either. So I think that was also a thing that would turn people off on Turkey Day. It's like, you're going into it knowing that game, with the Cowboys in the afternoon is just going to be just a disaster to watch. And it was. So that didn't help the Lions' case at all in terms of their 50 plus year contract that they've had holding on to the Thanksgiving game.
I know this though.
It's a tradition.
I know this though. I went to 4 different Thanksgivings this last
You said you were going to glutton
I did it.
Right on.
I was in pain.
Somebody won.
Good.
It hurt so good. But I'll tell you, my goal always on Thanksgiving is to find the homemade pumpkin pie. The chosen one. I went to 4 different Thanksgivings. Third one had a pretty good chocolate cream pie. That was pretty good.
Dang, you had to
great turkey all day long. But the last one, I got to put it out there. I went to this one here in Vegas, and there it was on the table. The homemade pumpkin pie, and nobody was touching it. And like usual, what did I have to do? I had to be the first one. I had to go get that knife. And I had to go there and get me a piece, and it was good.
It's the amount of butter.
Y'all let Stone by y'all dessert table. Keep him away from weddings, bar mitzvahs, anywhere else.
Hey, invite me. I'm coming over.
Cakes and pastries.
But that's what the nightmare was just about. Like Thanksgiving this year, everybody knows, and just peace out to the Raider Nation and all the people. Peace to you all over the earth. Because that was just crazy to have people like your government in parts of the United States telling you. You can't have 10 or more people in your house at a time, and you've got to have on a mask while you're inside. And it's like, so what are you going to do? Do you write those laws to create fines so that you can then bill people in case you
it's the NFL.
I mean, that's just crazy. This was a crazy time. People wanted to.
This has been
You relax some, but here you're watching bad football, and on top of that, you're stuck in the house.
It's just been a bad year, period, man. And it didn't have to be, but whatever. Let's just get out of this shit. And get to 21, and hopefully everything will be on the one.
What do you mean? They keep saying it could go to 22.
Man,
who?
They'll have something to do by then. They will.
They say it. We'll see.
They should find a short pier and take a long walk. Okay. Speaking of they, a few weeks ago, folks, I brought to you a presentation and brought to you a disclaimer.
Which show was that?
Show 4.
Show 4.
A month ago.
Show 4.
Okay, a month ago.
Chauffeur.
About a certain Raider fan, supposedly. He's really a Jets fan from New York, though. How are you in your mid-fucking 40s and you become a Raider fan in the 90s? We sucked.
Okay.
What the fuck are you doing?
No one could have done that.
So anyway, some clowns claim that they did. But this motherfucking jerk here, the cat that I told y'all about, Scottsdale, Arizona, the fraudulence, and he's milking
people
and all that
money.
shit. Okay. Yeah. Well, this motherfucker, a month later, decided that he finally got it. I was waiting to see how long it would take him to get it. Because in that month's time, I stopped corresponding with it October 25th. And just to give you some context, I had told Raider fans at the time about this certain Raider fan. And we had a personal relationship for a minute. I wouldn't consider us friends. He wanted to be friends with me. He knew me from JG the Brick Show, found me interesting, and we just hooked up on how you normally hook up on shit. Anyway, just to give you the context, on show 4, me and Steph, we ran down, I ran down everything to her and to you, the Raider Nation, about the shady character that come to find out. After having, correspondence and, pseudo.
He said we were a bad fan base.
For 2 years. Said we were a bad fan base. All this stemming around the Tampa Bay game and what have you. And after that, and I said something that he didn't like and it offended him. And so he went
Raider Fan Radio exclusive.
Started talking shit and all that. And in that, yes, the Raider Nation was a bad fan base. The Raider Nation were... a joke, only there for the social aspect of it, and all these other insults, and shit like that.
I go for the tailgate.
Yeah. He told this to the creator of the Raider Nation, the founder of the Raider Nation, okay, the rightful owner of the Raider Nation.
Yes.
And thought that was just going to stand, okay? And, of course, it didn't. And I haven't corresponded with this guy since October 25th, and he's been texting me all month. He finally... Well, he claims that Murph from Raiders Fan Radio, the fake one that we already had that discussion about that, and really is Murph's Cave on YouTube. I guess he's trying to claim that I got some more text, that he got in contact with him, or he's intimating that Murph might have contacted him and I guess sent him this link. Number one, that makes no sense. Why would Murph wait a month to just randomly send you the link to our show from show 4, where we criticized you and called you out, or just contact you out the blue anyway, okay, to tell you about us and what we said about you? You're a month late, dude. We had moved on.
Right.
Secondly, you comment in our comment section right below on show 4, and you bring this shit back up again. We had all moved on.
Yeah.
No one ever said your name. But of course, you responded in your fucking name.
You're an idiot, man.
Just like I said, you texted stuff that, you should never put in print. Especially you're supposed to be a Raider fan, but you were talking about how you like to take advantage of fans and milk them. And, I don't mind milking people for money. And taking advantage of people. That's not cool, dude.
So,
not cool at all.
Since October 25th, you've been texting me every week, every other day, okay? I have not responded. I hadn't even opened and looked and read your texts until last night, okay? And so this is what happened yesterday at 5:09 p.m. He texted me.
It's like a court show.
Court Raider TV.
Happy holidays, my man.
Raider Fan Court.
Wish you talked to me about whatever the fuck. Miss you, dude. Hope you're well. Okay?
Can't see it good, but
I can't see it good. Okay. You guys can see.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's a text from somebody else, right?
Yes.
This is the guy that I told you guys about. I'll read that again.
Evidence.
5:09 p.m. Happy holidays, my man. Wish you talked to me about whatever the fuck. Miss you, dude. Hope you're well.
Okay.
Haven't talked to him since October 25th. Ain't even read none of these messages. Then, 7:59, a couple hours later.
7:59.
Like this Murph guy. He a real one. Had good talk with him. No, you didn't. He ain't a gossip. Gonna be a good show when I call in. I guess the Murph show. Make some money promoting Raider Nation. Free cash grab, son. Make yours. And thank you for some amazing material. Which Steph has always said. When I talk to him and he calls me and texts me and I'm, telling him he's just getting material for his little weak-ass Arizona radio show. Okay, that he's on down there. This shit like Raiders Gilmore Girls. I don't know what the fuck that's supposed to mean. What the hell, good girl, Gilmore Girls.
I don't know. I'm already falling off the cliff on this one. What are you talking about?
Stay tuned. Very disappointing, but it is what it is. Now I have fun. Shame 2. Very unnecessary. I seen your little gossip video. I got a big ass mouth. Jim Hudson gonna be reached out as well. We won't be talking anymore, snitch. I stopped talking to you October 25th.
Yeah, and what do you
You don't fire me, I fire you. Like, what the fuck are you doing, clown? Okay? Anyway, when Murph and I end up launching our new joint venture, I'll make sure to let you know. Let me tell you something.
Well, happy birthday.
Me and Murph talked 2.5 years ago. Murph knows our side of the story, how we feel about him using Raiders fan radio. He admits that he knows it's ours. We're not even really tripping on Murph, man. Okay? But I'll just put it like this. I'm going to warn both of you to watch out for each other because you're both thieves. Okay, Jeremy, watch out for Murph. And Murph, you watch out for Dude. Okay?
And have a ball watching.
Give me a fucking break, partner. I'm just going to tell you like this. Your little veiled threats.
Uh-oh.
Your little veiled threats, homeboy.
Back. He's going in.
You need to chill on that. Because you told on yourself, bro. I'm not a phony like you, and you must have thought that. You must have thought that I thought this was all a joke, too. This man has done great things for me, man. Giving me opportunities I might not even have had.
Who, me?
Reby. Okay, right here.
True story.
Beautiful black hole step. The whole black hole. My family, the Whiz Zone, Blitz Chick, all of them, South Shield. Man, we are a family. This shit is real to us, dude. I told you a number of times I was Raider Nation, but you dismissed it, probably thinking, black guy, he can't come up with nothing like that, because, I'm putting it there, okay, brother? Straight up. I'm going to warn you. Like Ice Cube said on Death Certificate, I'm the wrong nigga to fuck with.
Raider Fan Radio exclusive.
Your little veiled threats, okay? You keep up with that shit, and you're going to be paid a visit in Scottsdale that you really don't want, dude.
Dang.
Straight up. And I'm not threatening you. I'm giving you what is known as Oakland Promise. If you know what an Oakland Promise is, you need to ask somebody. You exposed yourself, dude. You said you had no problem bilking and milking Raider fans and that they were a joke.
We take this shit serious. No matter what you or anybody else may think of us as costume fans, as loud, as outspoken, the little shows we do to talk about, this is our life and we live it. And it's real to us. You're a punk-ass Jets fan from New York. You ran from New York to come to the West Coast and you's a bitch. Okay? A bitch-made dude. And I'm not the one to fuck with, partner. And you know that. But keep on. Take your chances. You're going to get a rude awakening. I suggest you move on. Because we had moved on. And then your dumb ass put your name out there. When I hadn't even had done that.
Yeah.
So, back the fuck up off me. Okay? You told on yourself, dude. Okay? You keep your mouth shut. Stop thinking you a New York big shot. Okay? And you wouldn't get called out on your shit. It's always funny, these type of people have no accountability. It's never about what you said that made me say what I said. Right. What did you do that made me come at you the way I came at you? Right. Why don't you put that out there? Yeah. So that's the end of that rant. We're done with it for real. I know Stone is, obviously. But we good, partner. I've been stopped talking to you.
Go with it, you know?
October 25th was the last time I corresponded. We saw you ain't doing nothing talking about we don't have to talk anymore. Man, fuck you.
That's pretty
Period.
much it.
All right? And if I catch you out in the streets of Vegas or we running each other in person, me and you going to have a discussion about this. Feel me,
Can you get
brother.
footage of it? Because I would like to see this. Could you bring a camera?
Go on about your business, dude. Go play with somebody else. Okay? But you are going to be part of the lawsuit, and you can believe whatever the fuck you want to believe from the corporate bitches. You can believe whatever the fuck you want to believe from your bitch boy JT the Brick or whoever done put stupid shit in your ear. Leave Murph out your shit and fight your own battles, punk. Just typical New Yorker. Can't handle your own shit. Just like the president. Want to bring other people into it. Blame other people. Okay? You told on yourself. Yep. And I wasn't going to let it slide. You're going to tell the motherfucker that created Raider Nation, fuck Raider Nation. Stupid motherfucker.
Did you see the Tyson fight? Or did you even care about it? Did you even care about it?
I did. You know what? Because I was watching the hype and I watched.
First of all,
I watched Mike Tyson's podcast, Hot Boxing.
I didn't watch it the night of the fight, but I know nowadays you could just go on YouTube and see anything.
Oh, yes, up to now.
So literally, like 20 minutes after the fight ended, somebody posted the whole fight on YouTube.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay.
Now I wasn't excited about it, but I was at the same time. I love Mike Tyson. I've always been a Mike Tyson. He had some bad years, obviously, there when he bit off Holyfield there, and he went to prison.
It was a bad year.
I'm saying it's some bad years. And did he go to prison for rape? I mean, was that the official why he went to prison?
Rape.
Okay, alleged rape, but he went to prison.
Yeah.
He had some tough times. And he was obviously in public. He was very. He looked like he was.
I want to eat your children.
He looked like he was. He sounded like he was losing.
Mike, I don't care.
But I'm telling you, man, when I was 19 years old. And I saw a 20-year-old heavyweight champion, Mike Tyson. Yes. I was just completely blown away, just like going, wow, I'm 19. I don't know what I'm going to do. This guy's champion of the world.
He's like, tink, tink.
So, but at the same time, it's like he's had this great comeback, ever since then. Ever since he got out of prison. Obviously, he was on the movie Hangover, started getting a little more celebrity. He's been doing a lot
Well, he's been out of prison since he retired and lost to Lennox Lewis.
Right.
But he's been out of prison a lot.
I guess my point is that he's made this big comeback since those
his popularity has risen.
He's done a lot of great like stand-up kind of show. Not stand-up, but
one-man show.
Yeah. One-man shows where he basically tells a story. Mm-hmm. So he's obviously very vocal, very able to...
stop! One of the greatest documentaries, and if you have not seen it, and you either, Stone, you must see Tyson.
Yeah. I have seen Tyson, yes.
It's just him and a camera, okay, and he's at his house.
And he just keeps going and going and going.
Like RaiderFanRadio.
But it's him telling his story. That's one of the best documentaries ever.
And what I probably like probably more than ever now about Mike Tyson, after being a fan for so many years, he's not only got his own cartoon, Scooby-Doo style, Mike Tyson Mysteries on the Cartoon Network, which I love.
That.
I love that. It's got Pigeon. Norm Macdonald plays the voice of Pigeon. He's got an Asian daughter and a ghost that he lives with. It's crazy, but it's very Scooby-Doo-like. And even more than that, now he's got Mike Tyson Farms, and he's a marijuana
Tyson Ranch
cannabis grower. you know, and advocate, obviously. As a matter of fact, I think he even said somewhere in the post interview last night that he smoked a joint right before he got in the fight with Roy Jones Jr.
That's why he lost. Oh, that's why it was a draw.
But if you get a chance to see it, just in a nutshell, basically, it was fun to watch. It wasn't a real fight. I think they both held back. They were throwing some blows here and there to kind of keep
Roy
it.
said he felt some blows.
Yeah, no, they connected. They definitely connect, but they could have really killed each other if they wanted to. For the most part, I think Roy Jones was a little bit more moving around and dancing and got a little winded. But Mike Tyson, what I love the most about him, and you'll watch it on YouTube, he stands square, just like Mike Tyson. Shoulders forward, hands out, and he's just duking and hitting the body. He's not bouncing around all over the place. It was definitely, he looked like the video game. It brought me back to that.
Punch Out.
Again, Punch Out, Mike Tyson. You know, so many great things about Mike Tyson. But anyways, it's a fun fight to watch. I don't think he'll...
What do you think is the benefit of these type of exhibitions? I know we've had a lot of exhibitions. We've had rappers
raising money.
TV
I think
stars.
about that
It was
already.
charity, right? It was
because
charity.
it helps people, helps charity. Yeah, it's not like watching a Mike Tyson in his prime going out and eating children.
It looks good, though.
We saw that.
53 again. He's my age, so I always put myself in
my favorite.
in that generation. So, yeah, I guess that's another thing, too, vicariously. To be 53, me 53, and to see Mike Tyson out there, 54, out there fighting, you know, it's like... It's just good to see that.
It's kind of giving you a glimpse.
They still got it. They still got
something
out there.
It kind of gives you a revisionist.
They're not just laying back in a chair
into what we grew up watching. You know what I'm saying? Every couple of months. From 1985 to 1990 something. I mean, it just, you know, it had that fervor. I watch his podcast, which you should check out too, Hot Boxing with Mike Tyson, along with his boy Eben Bren. And it's a good show. He interviews people from all over pop culture and society and what have you. Had a very interesting interview with Robert F. Kennedy Jr.
Wow.
Get to that. Mike Tyson talking to Robert F. Kennedy Jr.
I definitely need
and blowing smoke. Okay, so it's a good show. But he was hyping it the last month or so, and I was looking forward to it. Like I said, I grew up with Mike Tyson. We used to pay to see a pay-per-view shit.
It's only 8 rounds,
and all
8
that.
2-minute rounds.
Yeah,
it goes by pretty quick.
But my thing is, you know, as great as it is to see him and kind of relive that past glory or whatever, what I'd really like to see, because I'm into the horse game too, boxing is kind of that same way where you breed boxers. Boxers are in different gyms. Kronk, famous gym, of course, in Detroit, the famous gym, Joe Frazier's gym in Philadelphia. We have a famous one in Oakland, Stewart's gym. Here in Las Vegas, Johnny Taracco's boxing gym. You know, I'd love to see Mike Tyson go into the development game. I'd love to see Mike Tyson as
bring
a
it back full
boxing
circle
coach, where he becomes like Customato
right.
was to him.
Right, yeah.
And he goes out
I
and
could see that.
finds young
like Mickey or Rocky.
Yeah. And particularly fighters.
Burgess Meredith on Rocky Balboa.
Particularly aspiring fighters from his background. You know, and because he's such a worldly dude, this is white guys that may be former opiate heads in Minnesota or out in Maine. This could be brothers from Texas, Florida, the Bay Area. Could be some Latinos from LA. But he is a universally loved guy.
Right, yeah.
You know, much like Muhammad Ali was. Everybody loves Mike Tyson.
Which is my only other favorite.
There's a great
fighter
video on now on YouTube. It was probably recorded 2 months ago. But just go on there and look and search Mike Tyson in Venice Beach. And it's just great to watch him by himself in the public walking around Venice Beach with a mask on and him taking pictures with people and some of the awkwardness of people scared to approach him.
He's personable.
But he is just that all-around personality.
You brought up Muhammad Ali.
That never fades.
You bring up Muhammad Ali right there, and like to me, Muhammad Ali is one of the greatest icons of all time that bridged so many cultures and people, the world, like you said. He brought the world together under the umbrella of boxing, but it always came down to the individual. And it's so rare in a sport where an individual makes that kind of social impact that's global like that.
Right.
And Mike Tyson, I don't think a lot of people would have thought that, especially while he was in prison or while he was ranting and a bit out of his mind at the time. And by the way, I used to call the radio shows back then and tell everybody Mike Tyson just needs to get stoned. And he would mellow out, and he did do that.
Right.
So it's something, and I said a joke.
He still got his edge, though.
But I also said, because
he still got his edge.
It takes the edge off of all of us as far as the mellowing of sound. But like you said, he's still Mike Tyson, and now he is that globally known personality that kind of goes with Muhammad Ali, and that's as big as it gets. That's as great.
I always saw that because I felt like Mike was always just real. And he gave you the truth about when
he's Generation X.
Yeah, when he spoke, he spoke truth. So I always felt like behind all the things that were happening, I knew that were happening around him, and the things that he's done, that he was just growing. He was growing, but he was still a good person. I mean, his ex even says that, and his wife now. Just look at what he's accomplished. Over the course of his life, he's evolved several times, come back from a lot of struggle, a lot of loss, and being able to regain that and build up and transcend into the new millennium with a ranch, that's focused on cannabis,
and having to do it all in the public eye too.
During the fight, he even said when they announced his name, and from Henderson, Nevada, Mike Tyson.
He's not far from here.
He slimmed down from when we went. I can't remember the talk show. I think it was Jimmy Kimmel.
We went to Jimmy Kimmel.
Jimmy Kimmel, and Mike was on there, and he, he's slimmed down for this. He just shows you he is a stellar athlete. There are no athletes like that can just he was going around having his regular weed weight, I guess, working on his ranch weight.
Right.
But then he came into this game looking all slim and all together.
Well, like he said, preceding this fight, I had just watched him in an interview on another YouTube channel, and he was talking about how he had put his phone away. He had put his phone away about a month or so ago, turned it off, and just was really going back to his old days of getting that mental preparation and all that. And, through all the ebbs and
flows. That's
probably
the best advice you could give anybody nowadays.
Yeah.
What,
unless you're watching Raider Radio.
Put your phone away.
Put your phone away.
Put your phone
away. Oh, okay.
But he's
party on. Like
Steph said, he went through a lot of ebbs and flows in his life. But the one thing that I've always admired about Mike is that he was honest.
Always.
No matter what image you might have put on him or what have you, I can remember here in Las Vegas when he was trying to get his license for a fight. And he had to go before the Nevada Boxing Commission. It was on live TV.
Yeah.
It was broadcast on all the channels. Network. Okay, they cut into soap operas.
For this.
To see Mike Tyson have a hearing.
To get his license
and
back.
I remember that it was kind of contentious, and his people were trying to explain why he should get his license back. This was after the Holyfield incident. And he just had one moment that was just encapsulated what Mike Tyson was about to me, where he just told the commissioner in the commission, look, I don't know what these guys, what they're telling you, what it all means to you or whatever. Just for real. I mean, I'm just a fighter. That's all I do. I don't do anything else. I don't know anything else.
This is a reenactment.
I'm just a fighter. And that's what he was just trying to convey. I'm just a fighter. Mm-hmm. I don't know anything else but to do this. And that honesty where he was pleading for his career, for his life. Because this is his livelihood. He doesn't know how to do anything else.
Well, I think Mike Tyson made it clear, just to kind of wrap the whole thing up, is that he is going to still keep doing it as long as he can on an exhibition level. I don't think he should go out and be a killer. I don't think he should go out and take any kind of real beating at the stage of his life. But if he could go out and keep doing exhibitions and making money for charities or any kind of special cause or awareness or whatever reason you want to do it, if you can use your celebrity to go out there and have a message behind it and bring people together in any kind of way, keep doing it, Mike. We love it.
And I really, really implore you, man, get with the young fighters. Across the board. Find some of these young fighters, some of these at-risk kids. And
you have to teach them what my
that was the same thing that you were taught, man. And I'm going to tell you this, too. On a more broader level,
You want to convince a motherfucker to take these COVID vaccines? Have Mike Tyson roll that shit out. Have Mike Tyson be the one to tell you.
He could be the one.
This is what you need to save your life.
Tuskegee
I don't want to have to come to your house,
1932,
and I don't want to have to bring a syringe and shoot you myself.
He's already, what do you call it? He's immune.
This will save your life.
He smokes that COVID weed.
Hey.
Anti-COVID weed.
Carbon.
We love you, Mike Tyson. Gen X, man. Love you to death, brother. You know, anyway.
All right, take us to In-N-Out.
Where are we out here? Well, yeah, In-N-Out. In-N-Out.
You like hamburgers, right?
In-N-Out.
That's what a hamburger is all about.
Colorado, now one of the weed capitals of the world. Y'all are up there Rocky Mountain high like a motherfucker. John Denver missed the party, man. But anyway.
Yeah,
man.
No, way too soon.
He didn't miss the party.
No, he died too soon.
Yeah.
He should have stuck around.
He didn't miss the party. John Denver was getting it in.
Poor John Denver. All you want to do is
you guys are legalized up there. And now that you have legal weed, that, of course, is going to make your fucking...
Did you say legal weed?
Legal weed. Your munchies are going to just go up. Your desire for them, of course, are going to be very stimulating. And I've been up to Denver, and
That's
you guys...
a known fact.
You know, you guys got the normal shit, Burger King and some of that shit, and your local places and all that. But now you guys, as of 2 weeks ago, got In-N-Out Burger for the first time. And in Aurora...
Wait a minute. The first time in Denver. You're just getting In-N-Out
Not Denver.
Burger?
This was in Aurora. Outside of Denver. There was their first opening of an In-N-Out Burger in Colorado. And there was a massive 14-hour line that formed.
Dude.
At this one location in Aurora. There were fights. Okay, these liberated stoner dudes were out there throwing punches in frustration.
They really want that burger.
Waiting in line, people were trying to cut lines, all that type of shit.
The chocolate shakes are
but
good.
you gotta eat them fast. You let In-N-Out Burger and fries sit for more than 10 minutes. You can have that shit. Okay, but anyway, yeah. So they got their first. Congratulations to you, all you drunk ass Bronco fans. Now you can go to but 14 hours. How long? What would you wait 14 hours for?
I go by an In-N-Out Burger and I see a line around all the time, and I just keep going now.
But is there anything?
I go when there's.
Is there anything that you would wait 14 hours in line?
Prince tickets. I've done it. I've done it.
You did Prince tickets.
Prince tickets. I've done it.
No.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you
overnight?
There was a time, like you say, back in the 80s and late 70s into the early 90s, where you actually had to stay in line to get concert tickets.
Yeah.
Yes. You wanted to see. I think I did. I think Van Halen, Rush.
Yeah.
Lots of bands I've stood a lot before, but it was more like a tailgate party.
So when you sneak in,
it was like more like a tailgate party.
Right.
You sneak in, you ain't got to worry about tickets.
But no, to sit around wait for a burger for 14 hours, you could go to the store, make some burgers, sell them to the guys in line, right, In-N-Out Burger,
right?
Take it back home.
We always open. We always.
You know they want burgers,
right?
You know they're stoned and they got 14 hours to kill. All right, I just gave all you Aurora dudes some ideas. Run with it. Make sure you comment and give us credit.
I would wait
radio.
14 hours in line.
He thought about this.
Intimate relations with Pam Grier, even at this age.
Dang,
you would 14
hours?
Or Felicia Rashad.
Now, well, you got to think about this now. 14 hours, that's a lot of dudes right before you with Pam Grier, by the time you get your chance to get your burger.
No, I'm not in a line. I'm in front of Pam Grier or either Felicia or Felicia.
But it's not the same as waiting in line to get your burger.
No, I'm not a trick.
That's funny.
You're not a train car?
Pam Grier or Miss Felicia Rashad. I would stand 14 hours in line for either one.
Okay, 14 hours, and I would wait after whoever I had to wait for, Selma Hayek. I would wait. I would wait. However many it took, just give me my shot.
The guy that you would wait 14 hours.
14 hours, Steph. Black hole Steph.
14 hours would be
Come
Fred
on, first
Williamson.
one.
Fred Williamson.
Damn.
The hammer.
Carl Weathers.
Her list is growing immediately.
That's 71? No, that's right.
Never a man can still be.
Apollo.
Still rises.
Apollo.
Yeah.
Gotta follow.
Anyway, Raider Fan Radio exclusive. Now you know.
Now you know.
Fred Williamson, if you're out there, contact us at RaiderFanRadio@gmail.com. Comment down here. And I think we have a friend for you to meet.
Right here in Vegas, too, real quick. It's not a big broad out thing, but we do want to give our condolences to the family of Tony Hsieh. Of course, 46 years old, the founder and CEO of the company Zappos, which he moved here to Las Vegas and founded, his company. And established downtown this brand and the company in Las Vegas. And then, of course, was spearheading the downtown, which I'm going to be a part of, the downtown Las Vegas redevelopment.
The art district and all that area?
And Fremont Street, East Fremont. He's behind Container Park here in Las Vegas, behind some of the renovations at Symphony Park, just to the west of downtown.
46.
And
I still don't know how he died, though.
He died in a car in
mysterious.
a house fire in Connecticut, which was probably smoke inhalation.
Damn.
It's either smoke inhalation or he burned.
Yeah, but either way, they have not said which one
Specifically.
But it had to do with the house.
You know me, I get a little conspiracy theory.
I feel you. 46 years old, great entrepreneur,
gets killed or
great
dies.
forward-thinking young tech cat who was very humble, who had a great vision, didn't want to be in Silicon Valley, didn't want to be around all the bullshit.
He brought it to Vegas, just like the Raiders.
Yeah, sold the company to Amazon for $1.3 billion a few years ago, and then came to Vegas and established himself here. And so it's going to be a great loss to the city, but he definitely gets thanks and props and shout-outs for what he has done. We've all been a part of the redevelopment and what's going on downtown and performed and what have you. And we see it rising up, like Stone says. We're watching this city rise up, and what's happening downtown is in great credit to Tony Hsieh, 46 years old. Yeah, man. Thank you. Yeah, man. Stone, what you got going on?
Okay, well, lastly today.
You're telling me something.
Because you know me. I love my conspiracy theories. I love my technology. I love when it comes to the idea of
Rock Nation
cashless stadiums and Rock Nation showing proof of vaccines to get into concerts and that being the future. The future. There's also a new futuristic audio system from Novito System out of Israel.
Audio system.
Okay. It's a desktop device, and they're created something so you don't need headphones.
Like fucking Alexa.
That better or worse, scarier and gnarlier. Maybe some might like it. But instead of having to wear headphones or earbuds, they can now beam music to you. Beam information. Beam messages. Beam signals. So the bottom line is now all these new waves in the air coming from these devices are not only giving us information on our phones and to just communicate with each other, they're giving us information. They're putting things in our head. So just something for you kids to think about when you're out there buying your devices and you're starting to hear voices in the middle of the night and you don't know who they are or what they're saying. You can know that, well, Novito Systems out of Israel. I'm sure many other
out of where?
Out of Israel, and some many other
that
devices.
Means the Mossad's got something to do with
across the world will be sending you signals, so you can sleep at
straight
night.
to your
have
head.
Something to think and dream about for your next day.
You know what would make it?
How did they test
it? Visualize your future.
How did they test it? Were they just shooting sound
They're
waves?
just shooting fucking
down?
beams, man.
No. I'm saying, how did they test it?
How they test it?
Yeah. The Israelis.
It's
Do I need to go there? Okay. Did they test these sound waves? Maybe that's what blew up that damn port.
Oh, yeah.
A few months ago. Were they shooting these sound
I'm
waves
saying.
down on the Palestinians?
Sound waves are very,
Can I please?
Yeah.
Were they shooting these sound waves down onto the Palestinians in the Gaza Strip to test it? That's what I'm wondering.
I would say very possibly. Who knows? I can't confirm or deny, but you could say that with this kind of technology, you can do pretty much anything.
Very interesting.
It's kind of like the MK Ultra.
I'm just asking questions.
You ever heard of MK Ultra? You know, they started
MK Ultra, right?
You know, they're hypnotizing and brainwashing people to do gnarly things.
So one day I'll be able, if I want to, or so inclined, to listen to the sound waves of Need Eat by Funkadelic.
Yes.
They'll be able to send that
without headphones or earbuds. It'll just go right into your brain.
But it's already in my brain.
Yeah, well, there you go.
You
don't need the device.
Oh, I don't.
But they're going to need a chip in you to be able to communicate.
Oh, you guys are these chips!
Chips.
I wish Frito-Lay would come out with this chip already that everybody's waiting on.
Oh, it's coming.
Because Bill Gates ain't gonna do it.
When you beam something, it's a signal. How do you get it to my brain without having?
Now, I just thought diabolically, if I could use this now to put into Selma Hayek's brain, maybe I could use this to my advantage. Maybe I should have a more open mind, a broader opinion of it.
Well, it sounds like this shit's gonna open your mind. I mean, how is it gonna jump into your brain?
Hey, man, they shoot the waves go in, and that's it. Very simple.
Okay. Oh, okay.
It's invisible. It's 5G. It's 6G. It's 7G. It's all the G's.
Well, once you get higher up in those G's, your brain explodes.
Yeah, man, that sounds wow.
Well, and lastly, that was lastly. But lastly,
Wow.
on a musical note, we will share with this. I am one of the biggest fans of the late, great Frank Zappa, one of the great composers of all time. And there's a brand new documentary out called Zappa. It's out there right now. It's on YouTube. It's out in the Netflix and all the different ways you can watch movies. But it's a great documentary. I've only seen mostly the trailers and little bits of it. But Frank Zappa is not only one of the great composers, great musicians. He was always able to bring together all the best players in the world to play with him. Social. He rapped. He played guitar. He did all these different things. He created the music on his own. I think only other individual I can think of is like Danny Elfman these days. That's a real composer.
Right.
When you think of Mozart and Bach.
Right.
Over the years, there were some big band guys back in, Count Basie. But Frank Zappa bridged jazz and fusion and all kinds of styles into the rock world, taking it on a global level. His name kind of gets lost these days, but he's also a very political activist.
That's why it gets lost.
That's why he
was so active in
very
the
outspoken.
60s and 70s. Yes.
That's probably
he went to Congress many times.
One of the reasons I'm a big Frank Zappa fan is because he was so outspoken.
He stood up for artists' rights. He was a foremost advocate for artists' rights, the freedom for artists to be able to unionize, to have protections federally for their art and for just the industry of music and artistry. And so man. Yeah.
So learn about him as much as you can on YouTube.
Frank Zappa's real shit.
Go see the documentary Zappa. And until the next
time. Of course, they're one of the greatest band names. How you leaving that out?
The Mothers of Invention.
The Mothers of Invention.
Wow. When I was a little kid, my stoner dad had the album Freak Out by Frank Zappa, the very first album.
Right.
And we'll get that image on the screen. It's Freak Out by Frank Zappa, the album cover. And I would see that every day as a kid. My dad had rows and rows and rows of records in the room because that's how they did in the 60s and 70s.
Yeah.
And that one would always be on the front and always caught my eye. And Frank Zappa, just that face with the mustache. You think of Frank Zappa like right now, Rob Zombie's the guy with the nose and the mustache. Right. But it goes further back to Groucho Marx. Even before Frank Zappa.
Right.
That image of the nose with the mustache, man, and the freaky hair. Again, man, Frank Zappa, go learn as much as you can about him because I think that's what's most important in the world right now. Learn about your art, learn about your artists,
reach back,
learn about the history,
reach back,
and share it and live it yourself. And enjoy.
That's what's up. Yeah. Hey, stay tuned for a special interview with Berto from Reppin' LV Don't Envy, apparel company here in Las Vegas, Raider fan, business owner, and take us away, Stone.
Later, Raider.
Peace, everybody. Stay Raider.
Raider Rob, Richie back here on Raider Fan Radio, doing our thing as we do. Make sure you like and subscribe beneath. And you know how we do it. Always representing, as we've done since 2002, the local and the independent business. So when we were up in Oakland, of course, we always showcase local artists. It's funny, my man here, my guest, knows some of the cats from back in the day that we used to have on the show and that we, always featured. Our infamous Hazmat Boys, Jacob's Descendants, Eclipse. Y'all all remember them Raider Boys. Yeah. Well, my man here knows them, and his name is Berto, the Las Vegas homie. Okay, welcome to the show.
What's going on?
It's great to have him here. This man here is a local businessman, local Raider fan, longtime Raider fan, and as I was saying, Raider fan business owner. And we're always supporting Raider fan business owners. So, Berto, thank you, man, for coming.
I appreciate it very much.
Good to see you. Good to see you. Now, your line of clothing is called Reppin' LV Don't Envy.
Yes.
Which is fat. And I'm going to show y'all the picture of the shirt right here. This is some of the apparel that he does. And this is his main. Is this your main line?
Yes.
And so, yeah, that's what's up. And he's got various designs, of course. How'd you get started in the apparel business?
I moved here about a good 8 years ago, perhaps. I just, I knew there was a void, when it came to, representing, the city of Las Vegas,
right.
Just the overall state. And, I've always, been pretty creative with ideas and designs and whatnot. And, I just saw that there was a little gap in there for me to get up in and capitalize on it. And I mean, I've been here, that many years, so I definitely got a little love for the city. Not more than my own town, but I mean, it's my second home.
Right.
And I embraced it, and I just wanted to come out with something, to represent the city and the state.
Yeah. Well. Were you artistic growing up? Were you into drawing?
I was. It started some time overseas. Like they say. I try to tell my girl's family. I was abroad. Instead of where. But I don't really glamorize that. But in there, you tend to have a lot of time. To yourself. So I mean. I picked up a pen and just started drawing stuff, letters and just different designs, But I've been doing it for quite a while.
Yeah. Now, in this business, of course, apparel is definitely, real high quality and really high demand when it comes to particularly the Raider Nation and particularly when it comes to Las Vegas. Now that the team has moved here from Oakland, is that something that you're going to look to get into, representing some of the Raider vibe too for fans?
Definitely. I got some stuff, that I'm working on. I got one of my boys as well, Saul Burciaga. Check him out. He's got a nice clothing line.
What's up, Saul?
Yeah, he's actually my designer. He created a lot of my stuff, and he has a Raider. I don't want to say clothing line, but he just got these designs that he came out
inspired.
With. And there's this jackets that he just came out with, and they're awesome. And he's helping me out with some new designs that I got coming up.
Right on. And just to let y'all see here on Raider Fan Radio, there's a number of different designs you can get from Berto's line, Reppin' LV Don't Envy. This is a sticker and also one of the logos for the Reppin' LV Don't Envy line that he has. And then what I'm sporting, which is one of his shirts that I copped, man, when I first met the man, the silver and black state. So that's representing, because Vegas and Nevada is a silver state.
Yeah.
So you had that black to it.
Oh yeah. You see that silver wording got that LV, up in it.
Right.
That's
Okay.
something that when I first realized that LV was in there, I was like, I got to make something out of it. I don't know how. I'm sure many people, have seen that LV inside the silver, but
right.
I put that together to where it's going to stand out and give it an extra touch, And
then, speaking like we always do here on Raider Fan Radio, talking about originality, talking about people coming up with their own concepts, against mugs that we be talking about that don't have that type of, idea and way of thinking. And a nod to the history of Nevada with the gold mining industry and the mining industry in general back in the 1800s and back when Nevada was first established. So that's what we talking about, man. Thinking of something that's not common that everybody else does. You can also make sure you hit Berto up if you're interested in seeing his line and more of what he has at reppinlvdon'tenvy.com. That's reppinlvdon'tenvy.com. In this competitive world of apparel, what makes for good apparel? What, as a consumer, you're looking for stuff. What have you found most consumers are looking for? Is it designs, durability?
Originality, definitely. Representing a team like the Raiders, that's something that, here in this town, is going to definitely be a plus. But it's all, as a Raider fan, we're everywhere, and if you got something, connected to the Raiders, it's a good way to promote your stuff, but I mean, overall, just coming out with unique stuff, new ideas, that stand out. Like I believe I have with my logos that I have.
Yeah, you do.
Like this one, this is, like I said, my boy Saul Burciaga, he helped me design this. But I mean, you got the 702 with the AK bullets. You got the steel Las Vegas, the state, it's original.
For the gangsta in you. You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
real ones from the street. Get a hat. Now that's fat because you've got the line of the aviator hats. The new baseball team, they changed the name for the field. They got a kind of design with the LV. The LV design is really coming out more prominently now that we're getting pro sports here. That one, though, is more unique. I mean, with the wings on it, I haven't seen that one before. How's the reception going for the repping LV NV line?
I kid you not, this is literally the last one of this design I've been selling out. Like I had a whole bunch of them about 4 months ago.
Okay.
I went and copped them, at the spot where I go to in LA. And now I don't want to say cop them as if they got them there. I went and went looking for the design of the hat, took it to the embroidery spot.
Right.
Got the 3D embroidery. I didn't go with just flat, rinky dinky embroidery.
Right.
And I also have this other LV on hats as well. That I've had like for 4 years now. And I mean, as much as that has sold throughout the years, this one, this is the last one, and I grabbed this one off the, my little case of boxes that I take to the Swami when I go sell. Yeah. Speaking of the Swami, Broadacre Swami, come check me out. I post up right there. That's where I'm at.
North Las Vegas Boulevard, yes.
Yeah.
Out in the north. Yeah, that's what's up, man. This city has always had representation, but it was geared towards sports because of the success of the Running Rebels for a lot of years. If you were local, maybe you were into some of the local teams that were here. They've had arena football, of course, minor league baseball, which is still here now. But as far as, I know back in Oakland and, of course, where you're from, these are big cities that really represent, and there is lines of clothing everywhere to represent. But Las Vegas hasn't really been, other than the tourist shit. You go down the strip, buy that high-priced T-shirts with the tourist designs and all that. But as far as the culture of the city or representing the city as a whole, that's something that's fairly new.
Yeah, no, they lack that for forever, and I've always told people that I feel like a lot of Vegans, if I could call them that, locals, they got a boulder on their shoulders, because you got people from all over the world that literally come here and party out, shit in the town, whatever. Then they bounce back. And they ain't got no respect, no, they don't acknowledge the locals, and then you got another part of it. All the people from Cali, northern, southern California, they come out here, they move out here, and they come representing all their teams. So now you got these people just really not feeling us because they don't have nothing to embrace. Now that they got the Golden Knights and the Raiders, Aces. I mean, they're getting that pride in them, and that's why, with that repping LV, don't envy. It's just letting people know, like, don't hate, like we're repping LV. I mean, the LV, NV initials have been here since day one.
That's right.
Nobody's ever put it. At least I hope nobody's ever put it because I don't want somebody all of a
sudden. You would have heard from them by now.
Be like, I don't want nobody to pop out the woodworks talking about, I've been had something similar to that. Right. I know I came up with it on my own, and that's all that matters, and I mean, I hope people can, really embrace it and accept it, for what it really represents, another thing, the LV, my LV stands for Last Vengeance. Which is, something that, these people could say, we gonna get the last laugh. All you fuckers been coming over here shitting on us, talking shit, whatever.
We'll have the last vengeance.
Now we got the Raiders, I mean, come on, they got the nation. They got it here, and we got it here, I should say, because we live here now.
That's real.
And they're bound to get more teams, and they're gonna continue to have that pride, and to represent their city, with professional teams,
Right. And Berto will be on the front line of representing the civic pride and of providing apparel for you that will represent the civic pride. Because let's do that. The city's growing, and it's definitely bringing a lot of people here. But for myself, Berto, obviously, there's a lot of us that do respect, because we've been coming here for so long, what the locals that have been here before us have dealt with and endured when it comes to image, but also
how the city is. You know, it's a cool place. People are cool here, friendly, holler at you. I've had more discussions in the last 6 years of living here than I had the last 5 in Oakland, you know, just because of the temperature in the street and just the vibe. And so it was really cool to come somewhere where people are embracing and people will holler at you. You can chop it up with any type of person. And, you know, so they have a misconception about Vegas. There's an identity crisis at times here. But folks like Berto, local business folks like Berto are going to break them out of that. So we look forward to that. Let's talk a little football because you are a longtime Raiders fan.
Yes, I am.
You know, this is a veteran Raider fan, first generation Raiders. So don't sleep. Number one overall, what's your feelings about the move?
I'm happy, you know, as much as I wanted him to remain in California and, you know, be that original, you know, Oakland, you know, Raider image.
Right.
You know, they're here and I'm here, so I mean, I'm glad I don't have to travel.
Yeah, funny how that worked out, huh?
Yeah. You know, I'll take
Want
it.
some
you know.
prognostication type thing.
Right.
Yeah. Did you see it coming? Because it was talking they were going to go back to L.A., and then they came here, and that just came out of left field, but it happened so quick.
Once they talked about the Chargers and the Rams going back to L.A., you know, I knew they weren't going to go to L.A. no more, you know.
Yeah.
And you know, speaking on that, you know, I was disappointed that they actually got 2 teams back the same, or you know, 1 year after another.
I know.
Like, come on.
I know. Chargers don't belong there, man.
You know, but you know, I think it's politics. But you know, that's
No, you're
something
right.
I don't get involved with. You know,
No, I feel you. I try not to get into it too much now that I've gotten older. I used to be steeped in the politics of sports because a lot of people don't understand the business end of it. That's coupled in with what happens on the field, too. Mm-hmm. And so you've got to be in play on both those sides. As a team, your marketing, how you look, what are you selling? Because that's the NFL.
Yes.
You know, they're selling.
Definitely.
You know, and they could really give a fuck about the Raiders really being in Vegas. They're looking long term on the bottom line dollar they're going to make with Super Bowls, possibly Pro Bowls. Neutral games will probably end up here one day.
The new stadium they got.
The new stadium.
State of the art. You know, they weren't going to get that in Oakland or LA probably, you know?
No. So that's what's up, man, with the Raiders as far as being here in Vegas. Now, the team itself this year was off to a 6-4 start, and as we taped this, that was about an hour ago, that changed. What do you think, man, with this up and down season? And more importantly, I'm known on this show for being very critical of Derek Carr. Don't like him. And I just think he's a quarterback that's not a clutch and what I like to refer to as a killer. You got any opinion on the team as a whole this season going in so far and on Carr, the quarterback? Because there's a glaring something. When it comes to him.
But I mean, you know, they feel the pressure because they, you know, this is their first season here, so they want to, you know, do more than what they've done in the past, you know, 20, 30 years, whatever. You know, 84 was the last championship, if I'm not mistaken.
Right.
So I mean, since they came here, they knew they had to, you know, step up to the plate and you know, try to hit a big hit, you know, and they started off good. But if you really want an indication of what Carr is all about, you know, if you look at last week's game with Kansas, I mean, especially the first drive of the second half, it was just magical to watch freaking Holmes, man. What he did, man, I think he did 8 throws and 8 runs, and I mean, it was just like just a perfect freaking possession, and they scored like nothing. And then you go over and you know you see Carr, you know, I mean, it's my Raiders. It's hard, you know, to kind of speak, you know, negative, you know.
But, I know.
I mean, every first down, they struggled. They barely got it, you know. They barely got that first, you know, down, you know, by some, you know, a call, you know, that ran on in their favor or whatever. But I mean, they weren't just dominant, and they had. I mean, today's game, same thing. I mean, I was just, oh my goodness, you know, it just. I don't know. There was just a lot of stuff that they went on this today's game that was just like questionable. Like, what the hell's going on? On third and long, they go for. I mean, no, it was third and short. I mean, they go for a bomb. Okay, boom, they got it. You know, they got the first down. You know, and then they do it again during the. It's like no, it's third down and short. You know, why are you going for another bomb?
They're sitting on that.
Why?
Defense is sitting on that. Yeah, a lot of predictability. And for me personally,
football and sports, having played organized sports, and I'm sure you did, it starts with the character of the players. And it starts with a culture. And I was telling you not long ago, we in our DNA, certain teams have a DNA that's part of, like we're talking about with, repping LV don't envy. You're doing something different. You're doing something that's, really establishing your brand. And that's what it is. The Raiders are one of those teams that have a brand. Their brand of football is stretch the field, as this great man Al Davis said, okay, on first down to let them know that we're coming and all day you're going to be dealing with us, okay? A sinister defense is, Black Hole Steph likes to talk about, but also a culture and a mentality of fuck everybody else. You kids like to throw around that slang of no fucks given. Yeah. Y'all don't know about that. Go check some footage out of the Raiders of the 70s, 80s that we grew up on. Talk about no fucks given. All right, and that's our DNA. And that DNA worked in the 70s, and it can work in 2020 because I'm watching teams do us. And so, I'm with you on that. And it's 40-6, or whatever it was, ended up being, it starts with your attitude on the field, understanding that you're in a playoff hunt going into the day. Where's the sense of urgency? Where's the attitude? Where's the anger?
Just to, kind of like, defend him a little bit,
please, it's all good.
The game of football has got it soft as fuck.
It has.
I mean, that play it was that one play with that running back. I don't know if it was Jacobs or who, but he had first down and bam, he went.
Oh yeah, that was Jacobs.
And they called a fucking foul on him.
Yeah.
It's like, come on.
When he led it with his head.
But I mean, it's
football.
He's the runner. He's trying to protect himself and try to go forward. As much as he could possibly go. Exactly. You ain't gonna call that on the quarterback that's fucking running, and instead of sliding, he dives in. To try to get that that first down. Right. And if he happens to hit somebody, with this helmet, you're not gonna call shit on him. And they call that play, and that shit fucked me up.
Or who you'll call it on. You know what I'm saying? Like you say about the politics. This is notorious with us. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And then, I'm going to talk about this more on the big show, but, while I've got Berto here, somebody who's competent and understands how this thing is played, you know what I'm saying, and realizes and sees the drastic changes in football, what's on the field, the product that's on the field, and then politics. How do we get a first-year head referee? Yeah. Let alone that he reffed the Raider game today. Yeah. How does a first-year referee become a head referee? Yes. And how does he get dropped into a Raider game that's critical to our playoff chances? And I know what y'all gonna say out there, you Raider haters. Y'all are always talking about somebody against you and cheating. Well, our shit's on film. Yeah. Going back to 1972 with the Immaculate Deception. It's been on film. Tuck Bowl. So, I ain't gonna rehash it, but what's up with that? We get this first year. Did you check that out?
Yeah, no, that was ridiculous, But I mean, shit, like you call them, you said Raider haters, and that term exists for a reason, There's motherfuckers out there that hate all day. That's their problems, because I don't got no hatred towards no other team, other than,
Yeah, I feel you.
Maybe the motherfucking Broncos.
Yeah.
But, that's just, rivalry, all in fun, all in good games, But, my cousin happens to be a big old Bronco fan, we go at it all the time. Shit, but other than that, I mean, it's kind of complicated. I don't want to, sit here and say there's a conspiracy against the Raiders, but, I mean, it's been fucking too many years, man, with the same fucking outcome, of just shit going against us. And I mean, you talk about certain plays, a memorable plays, I mean, the one that comes to mind was fucking Tom Brady, when they were about to go to the fucking playoffs and that fucking tuck game. Yeah, there you go.
That was a fumble, and for me, Rob Lytle, 1977 in Denver. With Jack Tatum hit Rob Lytle at the line with a few seconds left in the game, we get the recovery, and we're going to the Super Bowl against Dallas, the Super Bowl 12. But and that was the Super Bowl at the time the world was waiting for. America's team versus America's most villainous team.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And the NFL stepped in the way of that. It was a clear fumble. You know what I'm saying? Clear for everybody. Saw it. He was 2 yards when he dove. So Anyway, like my man Berto say, the politics of it is some bullshit. And we've been dealing with it. But, like you said, I don't want to sit here and be salty either. What corrects this? What gets it well in the next 5 weeks? Can it be done? Can we still make the playoffs?
I don't want to straight up, fucking just,
give up on the season.
Give up on Carr, but I mean, I tried to see who this, second stringer quarterback is. I don't know who he is. Does he have good?
Nathan Peterman. He got some time today.
Bringing a veteran. Somebody that's fucking mad at his, team and he ain't trying to be there. Bring him in. Fucking Chucky could pull some strings.
Right.
I don't know, man. What they definitely need to do a whole lot more than what they've done, to impress, this new state here, that they're representing, because, I mean, we've been suffering for too many years as Raider fans, and we get our hopes up, and same old shit, but if you're a Raider fan, it don't matter win or lose or draw, whatever, it's all the same,
But like you just said, it's Las Vegas, it's box office. We out here glitzing and glittering and getting it, man, and that's the attitude you got to have. This is a city high on entertainment, high on, the value of performance, and respects it and knows it. And like you mentioned, the Golden Knights, the Aces, even the minor league team are all doing well, all being successful. And so having this big league football team like the Raiders, they're going to have to factor in, or they'll be just like another act on the strip that's had its time. People won't be there, and people won't go, and you're not going to move again. I doubt that. But definitely will be a downturn in the support, because the people here in Vegas, man, they know what winning is. It's Las Vegas, baby. Yeah. They know what winning is.
Just win, baby.
You can win with a nickel, you know what I'm saying? Or you can win with G's, and y'all got $1.5 billion tied into that stadium. Get it together, baby. Yeah. Okay, we're going to get out of here on this. You are also associated with, walked into the studio with this nice fine bottle of beverage. Okay, and we'll have the graphic up too. Ponche. Tell me a little bit about this, Berto.
I don't want to put too much out there, but my father-in-law makes it. He wanted, kind of get at me on the down low. Hopefully, no motherfucking FTAs. FTF is watching this shit, but he just, it's a seasonal thing. He does it, for the holiday seasons, and we support him. He's my father-in-law's a great man, and he's a hustler, and I help him out as much as possible.
What's his name?
Excuse me, I was going to say Saúl Burciaga. It's Cesar Guerrero.
Cesar, yes, we'll be checking it out. And man, anybody that can mine beverage like the old days and distill the beverage and the wine and spirits, man, that's a great talent to have. Again, originality. People having talent, man, and putting it into their own thing and making it happen for themselves, and self-made, and that's the thing that's inspirational about Vegas, is people come here and they're self-made. They're able to come up creating their own business. And that's exactly what Berto's done with Reppin' LV Don't Envy. Make sure you check him out on reppinlvdon'tenvy.com. He has a whole line of other clothes and apparel for you too. You have hats, right?
Yes, I do. And,
right?
and let me just clear one thing. The .com, I haven't. The guy that was doing my website flaked out on me. He gave me some wrong details, and we came to a disagreement. So it's not actually running
but
yet.
It's coming.
It's definitely coming. So on social media, Instagram, Reppin' LV Don't Envy _2, or just Reppin' LV Don't Envy, which both of them, I got merchandise on both of those. So the .com is definitely coming. I have the domain, so it's there. Just waiting for me to get that website.
It's all good. It's all good. Well, we are establishing a new frontier in Vegas, and again, we always encourage our Raider Nation to support Raider fan business. And Berto is part of that nation, long time, and we want to give him some love and support. So make sure you hit us, like and subscribe below. Hit us up, too, if you want to get in contact. And we'll also have the graphic up and his contact up on the screen here in a moment. And, man, thank you so much, brother, for coming through.
Thank you, man.
I appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. And we'll see you soon and continue this whole thing about these Raiders here on RaiderFanRadio.Vegas.
Yep.
The views and opinions of RaiderFanRadio.Vegas, RaiderFanRadio.com, and Raider Fan Radio Media
are not the views and opinions of the Las Vegas Raiders, Al Davis Football, Inc., or the National Football League. RaiderFanRadio.Vegas is an independent media source.